mysterious and terrifying disease suddenly sweeps across the entire planet, bringing civilization to its knees. Yet the strangest part is not the speed of its spread, but its victims. One by one, every man on Earth begins to die while women remain completely untouched. Panic turns into despair as governments collapse and families are torn apart. Within months, humanity witnesses the impossible, the complete disappearance of the male population. 8 years later, a new world has emerged, ruled entirely by women. In America, a powerful organization controls society and the future of human reproduction. Led by the influential Poppy Pradhan, this group possesses the most valuable resource left on Earth: preserved male genetic material. In a world desperate to survive, this rare substance has become more precious than gold itself. With supplies limited and demand overwhelming, reproduction is controlled through an annual lottery. Only a select few women are granted the opportunity to become mothers. Among the hopefuls is Pinky Pit Ash, a grieving woman who lost both her husband and son during the deadly outbreak years ago. Desperate to fill the emptiness in her life, she dreams of having another child. Her closest friend, Martha Muthie, works within the powerful organization and has connections close to its leader. Meanwhile, resentment toward the ruling system grows. During a public speech, a rebellious woman named Sasti Masti openly humiliates Poppy by throwing a drink at her. She is immediately arrested by Officer Chapanchuri, but behind closed doors, a secret is revealed. The two women share a romantic relationship, a reflection of how society has adapted in a world without men. While Sasti Masti continues her criticism of the regime, Pinky receives life-changing news when her name is selected in the reproduction lottery. Hope returns to her heart for the first time in years. As she and Martha work together on the farm, Officer Chapanchuri arrives with the punished rebel, who has been heavily sedated. Soon afterward, Pinky visits the organization to undergo the next stage of the pregnancy process. There she meets another woman whose dreams of motherhood have already been shattered. The encounter fills Pinky with fear that she may suffer the same fate. At the same time, Martha accidentally overhears a private conversation inside Poppy's office. Hidden from public view, the leader reveals that she possesses a secret treasure capable of keeping her in power forever, exposing ambitions far darker than anyone suspects. Poppy quickly discovers Martha listening and warns her never to interfere in private matters again. Days later, Sasti Masti finally recovers from the drugs and leaves to meet friends. That evening, when Pinky and Martha return home, they realize Sasti has disappeared. Fearing she may cause trouble, they rush out in search of her. During their frantic drive, they collide with someone on the road. Terrified, they step out expecting disaster. But the shock that awaits them is beyond imagination. Lying injured before them is a man. After 8 years in a world believed to be entirely female, they are staring at a living, breathing male survivor. Without hesitation, they carry him to safety and begin treating his wounds, knowing that this discovery could change the fate of humanity forever. As the wounded stranger recovers, Martha argues that they should immediately report him to the authorities. Pinky and Sasti strongly disagree. They know Poppy's greed and fear the man would become nothing more than a prisoner exploited for reproduction. Instead, they decide to hide him in secret and protect him from the outside world. The challenge becomes even greater the following morning when officials arrive to inspect Pinky's home as part of the pregnancy program. While Pinky and Martha distract the visitors, Sasti stays behind to watch over the unconscious man. Questions, inspections, and suspicions fill the house. Every sound threatens to expose their secret. The tension grows as the hidden survivor begins to awaken, unaware of the extraordinary situation surrounding him. The mysterious man regains consciousness and immediately attempts to escape. Sasti struggles to stop him and eventually knocks him unconscious once again before inspectors discover him. After the officials leave, he awakens tied to a chair and finally reveals his identity. His name is Bhagoti Lal. Confused and angry, he demands freedom while Sasti insists on answers. Meanwhile, Pinky receives devastating medical news. Despite winning the lottery, she is informed that she will never be able to become a mother. Heartbroken, She reaches out to Martha for help. Refusing to accept the verdict, Martha appeals directly to Poppy and asks for a review of the results. But Poppy coldly dismisses the request, crushing Pinky's hopes and raising questions about the fairness of the system. As Pinky searches for answers, another doctor quietly reveals that there is nothing physically wrong with her. Someone powerful simply does not want her to succeed. Elsewhere, Bhagoti Lal begins explaining the truth about the surviving men. He reveals that he is not alone. A small number escaped the deadly disease, but their survival became a curse. Women began hunting them, capturing them, and using them solely for reproduction. Forced into hiding, the remaining men now live like fugitives. To society, they are treasures worth more than any fortune. Every group wants to possess them. Every survivor lives in fear. His story transforms what seemed like a miracle into a nightmare, exposing a hidden struggle taking place beneath the surface of this female-dominated world. Desperate to become a mother, Pinky approaches Bhagoti Lal and pleads for his help. He initially refuses despite her emotional efforts. Seeing her pain, Martha intervenes and pressures him until he finally agrees. The precious genetic material Pinky needs is obtained, and she quickly uses it in hopes of achieving the dream that the system denied her. For the first time in years, genuine hope returns. At the same time, another figure enters the story, a relentless hunter searching specifically for Bhagoti Lal. Somewhere beyond their small farm, forces are already closing in. What began as a secret rescue is rapidly becoming a dangerous game of pursuit, and the consequences of harboring the last known man are beginning to emerge. The following day, Martha returns to collect more assistance from Bhagoti Lal. Realizing his value, he negotiates for better treatment. Food, comfort, clothing, and dignity become his conditions. The women reluctantly agree. After being cleaned up and given new clothes, he is forced to wear women's outfits because male clothing no longer exists. Slowly, the atmosphere softens. Sasti develops a friendship with him, sharing food and drinks while learning more about his experiences. During one drunken evening, Bhagoti Lal attempts another escape but is forced back by his injuries. He then reveals a crucial secret. Before everything went wrong, he had been traveling toward a hidden safe location where surviving men could supposedly find protection. Bhagoti Lal explains that all he has left is a SIM card containing directions to the mysterious sanctuary. Sasti promises to help him reach it. Meanwhile, Pinky remembers another woman whose pregnancy failed during its second stage. Feeling sympathy, she secretly leaves some of Bhagoti Lal's genetic material outside the woman's home, along with an anonymous message. Elsewhere, the hunter continues tracking Bhagoti Lal's movements. The next morning, an old phone is activated with the SIM card. Everyone waits anxiously for information. Although only a cryptic message appears at first, they believe it may eventually lead them to safety. Unfortunately, their attempts at secrecy have already attracted dangerous attention. Martha discovers that the material Pinky left behind has reached Poppy's organization. Instead of gratitude, suspicion follows. Poppy becomes convinced that an illegal source exists somewhere outside her control. Alarmed, Martha warns Pinky immediately. When she returns home, officials are already searching the property. The women scramble to hide Bhagoti Lal before he can be discovered. During the chaos, an incoming call finally reveals the location of the supposed safe haven. Yet they are not the only ones who receive the information. The hunter also acquires the coordinates and begins moving toward the same destination. As multiple paths converge, the race for Bhagoti Lal enters a dangerous new phase. The group reaches the designated location only to find nothing there. Hours pass without any sign of rescue. Suddenly, the hunter appears. Realizing they have been found, the women flee into a crowded fairground and conceal Bhagoti Lal beneath a disguise. They know that if other women recognize him, chaos will erupt instantly. Amid the confusion, Pinky experiences sudden nausea and realizes the impossible has happened. She is pregnant. Overjoyed, she finally receives proof that her dream has come true. Yet there is little time to celebrate. The hunter continues closing in, and the fairground soon transforms into a maze of danger where every corner threatens to expose their secret. Bhagoti Lal hides inside a hall of mirrors while the women desperately try to protect him. The confusing maze separates everyone, creating panic and uncertainty. In the chaos, the hunter finally captures Bhagoti Lal, renders him unconscious, and drives away with him. Refusing to give up, Pinky secretly climbs into the hunter's vehicle while Martha and Sasti follow behind. Searching the vehicle for anything useful, Pinky discovers powerful sedatives. At a fuel station, she launches a daring rescue attempt, using the drugs to incapacitate the hunter. Bhagoti Lal is saved and brought back to safety. During their escape, Pinky joyfully reveals that she is pregnant because of him, giving the exhausted group a brief moment of happiness. Their relief does not last long. As they travel again toward the mysterious safe location, guards from Poppy's organization suddenly capture them. The betrayal comes from the last person they expected. Martha has secretly informed Poppy about Bhagoti Lal. Rewarded with luxury and privilege, she appears to have chosen power over friendship. Sasti and Pinky are imprisoned while Bhagoti Lal is taken away. Although Martha receives special treatment, guilt begins consuming her. Watching her former friends suffer, she realizes the cost of her decision. The group that once protected one another is now divided by deception, and Bhagoti Lal's future rests entirely in the hands of the ruthless ruler they feared from the beginning. Poppy celebrates the capture of Bhagoti Lal and reveals her true intentions. She views him not as a human being but as a resource to be exploited. During a disturbing gathering, she encourages everyone to extract whatever value they can from him. Even Martha is ordered to participate. Unable to tolerate the cruelty any longer, Martha finally explodes in anger and publicly denounces Poppy's leadership. The confrontation ends with her arrest. Now all three women face punishment. Poppy orders a doctor to administer powerful drugs that will leave them permanently sedated. Their rebellion appears finished. Yet among those witnessing the injustice is Officer Chapanchuri, whose loyalty is beginning to crumble. Unable to watch innocent people suffer, Chapanchuri secretly intervenes. She distracts the doctor, knocks him unconscious, and frees the prisoners. To cover her actions, she creates the illusion that the women escaped on their own. As the fugitives flee, Martha repeatedly apologizes for her betrayal. Forgiveness does not come easily, but they all understand that Bhagoti Lal remains trapped. Saving him becomes their shared mission. The following day, Poppy transports him toward a laboratory. Along the road, the women launch an ambush. During the confrontation, they overpower Poppy and free Bhagoti Lal. However, instead of celebrating, he immediately runs toward the mysterious sanctuary, believing it may finally provide the safety he has sought for years. Bhagoti Lal reaches the strange facility and gains entry through a security system that recognizes him. The women follow close behind. Moments later, the hunter arrives as well. To everyone's surprise, she reveals the truth. She is not hunting men to capture them. She has spent years trying to protect the surviving males from a deadly trap. According to her, messages promising safety are deliberately sent to lure men into captivity. Before she can explain further, sleeping gas floods the area. Sacrificing her own safety, the hunter guides Bhagoti Lal and the women through ventilation shafts, helping them escape while she remains trapped behind. The revelation changes everything they thought they knew. Emerging from the vents, the group discovers a horrifying underground operation. Numerous surviving men are strapped to chairs and exploited for reproduction. The facility is not a sanctuary at all. It is a prison. Poppy arrives and proudly reveals that the entire system belongs to her. For years, she has secretly controlled the remaining men while convincing the outside world that all males are extinct. Even the messages leading survivors here were part of her plan. By keeping the truth hidden, she maintained complete power over society. Bhagoti Lal realizes he has walked directly into the trap he spent years avoiding, and the scale of the conspiracy becomes impossible to ignore. As if the revelation were not shocking enough, another man steps forward from the shadows. The women are stunned. The man is Pinky's husband, long believed dead since the outbreak 8 years earlier. Bhagoti Lal immediately recognizes him as someone who helped lure surviving men into captivity. the horrifying truth emerges. He has been working alongside Poppy all along, helping maintain the secret network that harvests and controls the last men on Earth. Bogoti Lal is captured and restrained alongside the other prisoners while Pinky, Martha, and Sasti struggle to comprehend the betrayal unfolding before their eyes. Surrounded by enemies and shocking revelations, their fight for freedom has only just begun.